Hey guys, welcome to Make Money with Websites and why and how some people always make money with websites. So we're going to discover, and go into detail of how these people who owns websites actually make money with them, right? And then at the end of the presentation, I'm going to show you how you can do it yourself too. So that's what we all want to know, right? So, we're going to talk about websites, and I'm sure all of you today know what websites are. Now, websites are things online, right? You go to a website, and everyone knows a website now, and it's said that a business without a site is not a business. Okay, so anyway, you're going to go through websites and basically understand how they work, what I think they are, and what you should think they are, and then how to monetize with it. Yeah, the four ways. All right, so I want to introduce myself first. My name is Ruben Chung. All right, before we go on, I want to keep this presentation very casual, no formalities. You want to ask me any questions, going to go ahead. I'm speaking here like a friend to you, just sharing some ideas, getting them across to you, and basically, really getting you to understand how a website works and all that, okay? So again, my name is Ruben, and I am a music producer, right? I'll call myself a musician. I produce music, and now I'm a marketer, right? So how did I transition myself into the marketer stage? Let me just tell you a little story about that. Now, I started off with music, right? I played the violin, I played piano, and after that I went into music producing, right? But times were hard. It still is, right? As a music producer, you want to get your music across, out as much as possible. And being in the state that I'm in, where I'm living in, it's too small to basically just market to people around you, right? So as a music producer, if you're a musician, you understand. You want to actually take your music and push it out into the whole world. So how do you do that, right? So what I used was the internet, right? Internet is amazing. So what I do is every time I complete a piece of music or every time I finish something or have something interesting, I would share it with the world. I build sites, right? I built sites. I went into digital marketing, SEO, content marketing, email marketing, right? And I started building a lot of different sites, exploring all the aspects of internet marketing and sites, and that got me into becoming a digital marketer. Okay, so that's how I transition from a music producer to a marketer. And my marketing skills in the digital aspect is all based off experience. All right, so you can be rest assured that what I'm telling you comes from experience, not from a book or from something I read online. Okay, it comes from experience, a real experience that I've gone through. All right. Now, if you know more about me, feel free to add me on Facebook. Ask me for my Facebook contact. I'll give you no problems at all. All right. Now, I currently work in a company called Jar Creations, right? And what Jar Creations is? Now, Jar Creations is a branding, marketing, and advertising company, right? So we do a lot of digital marketing, advertising, and also a bit of offline marketing for companies. And our clientele base are people like small businesses up to bigger businesses like factories and corporations, right? So now, the only thing that we do differently from other branding companies or advertising companies is we work from future back. I like to call it that, right? So what is working from future back? And I think all of you today, if you are a business owner or someone who is doing creative work, you should work from future back, right? So let me explain a bit about future back. Now, future back means we go to a company and we look at its future, right? What does this company or business or organization wants in 5 months, all right? And we work from then, all right? So what you want in 5 months, and then you work future back. So you work backwards. If you want, for example, let's talk about figures, all right? If you want 10,000 at the end of 5 months, all right? Now what should you do to get to that goal? So you're working future back, right? So as a company who's doing branding, job creations, what we do is we look at companies and see how we can help them, and we come up with solutions to their problems. See, so that's a bit different. Okay, so just to give you a little information of what I do right now. Okay, so that's job creations. We are a group of do or die marketers and we do anything to make marketing work for companies that we engage. All right. So let's go into sites. I'm going to bore you down with too much details of myself and my companies. Anyway, websites. Now, websites are places people go for information. I like to think of it that way, right? And you can see in the picture right here, content is king, and it's cited by Bill Gates. So content is always king. All right. And when you go online as a user, you're actually looking for content. Let me give you an example. Now, in this page here, you can see that um, if a he or she, let's call this guy or girl, let's say Brandon. Okay, so Brandon wants to cure pimples. All right, and he goes on Google. Google's a search engine, right? There's many search engines online. Yeah, Yahoo, Bing, but Google is most famous of it all, right? So he goes on Google. He searches for how to cure pimples. So what is Brandon actually looking for? He's looking for content, things to read, and things to actually help his problem here. And his problem is what? Cure pimples. So you can see in the right side here, I did a search on how to cure pimples, and you can see in the first result, second result, it's all content. You see, so how to get rid of pimples fast. Now some content are merely articles, some are labeled as steps-by-steps articles, and you probably sometimes see videos as well. So these are all content, and content comes in many different forms, from text forms, from video forms, from photo forms, images forms, and all types of contents. All right, so there's all different kinds of contents, but the most famous one of them all and the most common are articles that you write, that you see online. Okay, so basically websites are places where people go for information, for content. All right, so how is money made in this situation then? So for example, let's say Brandon, he's looking to cure pimples. So he looks on an article online of how to cure pimples. That is a problem that he wants to solve. So imagine you're the first guy up here, top10homeremedies.com, right? And basically you write a content up right there. So Brandon goes into your site, reads about the content that you wrote up there, and again, because he is actually looking for a solution to his problems, you can actually propose something that Brandon will want to buy. For example, let me give you an example. So your article says like, step 1, you need to, clean your face every day. Step 2, you need to, use some picking tools to poke your pimples, for example, right? And maybe number 3, you have to sleep early and drink more water, something like that, right? Now, at the end of the article, you can always say, so now you know all the steps to take care of your pimples. Now, if you have scars, do you want to buy a cream, right? And Brandon, as the content reader, will actually trust you because you have already provided him with such good content that he actually trusts you to buy something. So there you go. Websites can make money, right? Now, so at this point, you want to understand how a website works and what I think websites are. Websites are basically sites and places for information, right? The monetization comes when there are people actually using your content, reading your content. Okay, so let's get into that. So to start a website off, now a lot of people want to start websites for money and they do not last long in the market, right? So why, right? Now, when you start a website or a blog, you need to have a strong passion for something, okay? And you turn that passion into money. So for example, let me give you an example. I am a music producer. You can see that's my my pet dog there, right? But anyway, don't mind the picture here. This is very funny. I'm sure that I adore a lot. Anyway, I love music and I do music all the time. I produce music, right? So what I do is I build sites and I build blogs about my passion. I write about my adventures in producing music. I write about my problems in producing music. I write about solutions and I share ideas, So when I'm doing this, it's all about writing about my passion. And I feel at ease when doing it, right? So that's it. That's all you need. So if you have a passion today, go ahead and go and blog about it. If you have passion in fishing, well, share about ideas of how you do your fishing every day. If you have passion in baking, you can share your recipes and things like how you bake your cake, right? And basically share by passion, and that itself will actually form you a site or a blog. Okay. So for my case, I write about music and then blog about a site called audiomentor.com. This is a site that I've built myself, and this is a screenshot of the site. But you can see that I have blogs and I have posts, where I actually share ideas of how I create music or share ideas of how I produce music. And then I've also put up things like courses, downloads, reviews, and tutorials for my readers and my fans. All right. So basically, this is formed out of a passion. All right, and anybody in the world can do that because every one of us has a passion, has a hobby that we actually do a lot. Okay, so I have fun doing this, and I do this all the time. All right. Now, but before I go into the good parts and everything and how to monetize from doing your passion or writing about your passion, we have a serious problem in websites or even blogging. And what the problem is now, 95% of bloggers give up before they actually get to where they want, right? Now, before we start websites or before we start blogs, we always have high dreams, big dreams where we want to build the best site in the world, build the most informative site or blog in the world, and we have all these dreams. But sadly, 95% of bloggers give up along the way. So why? Now, if you ask many of them, many wouldn't even know why they stopped blogging, right? And it's probably going to see something like this, right? Well, I just stopped blogging. I do not know why, right? A lot of people do not know why the reason they stopped blogging, right? But I can tell you why. It's very, very simple, and it makes sense, right? Now, how would you feel if you were to write blogs without knowing what you're actually doing? Just writing up there for a couple of months, and you find out suddenly like, hey, nobody's actually reading your blogs, right? Nobody's actually visiting your site. You're not monetizing from it. So all the money that you spend on your site, so all your money spent on your hosting, setup, and domain is just burned right off away. And you have no ways of supporting your website after launch, because running a site needs maintenance. You need maintenance to run your site, right? So what happens to a lot of bloggers, 95% of them, is they run your website and their website is not capable of bringing back them monetization. They are not capable of bringing back that income. So basically, at the end of the day, you'll be burned out writing a blog that no one's read and you don't monetize from it, right? So it's a very serious problem for bloggers or even website owners. You need to be able to monetize from your site, okay? So yeah, so the most common reason for this is because it's not being monetized and a lot of money is being spent on hosting, setup, and also domain. Now, if any questions about what hosting is, setup, or what domain is, you can always ask me any questions bar on the webinar here. Yeah, but just to explain you very quickly, hostings is where your site sits on. It's like the land of your site. All right. Setup is basically, well, setting up your site, the cost of setting it up, the design, the copywriting, and whatnot. All right. And domains means the name of your site. So a domain is like an address of your site. So like www.rubenjung.com. That's domain, the domain name. Okay. So yeah. All right. Let's get into the main topic today. Now I want to share with you how 9gag actually monetize from their blogs. Now, I'm not sure whether you have read 9gag or not, but 9gag is a social media site where people scroll through infinite endless of funny memes and funny images to entertain themselves. So it's more like an entertainment social network where people scroll there and spend their time looking at funny images and funny videos sometimes. All right. So now the special thing here is 9gag do not actually post any of these images. These images are posted up by users, their viewers that come to your site, and that makes 9gag so amazing, right? So now, how does 9gag monetize? With so many people coming into 9gag to view, they have a high running cost, all right? So 9gag, and let me talk a bit about how many people should visit 9gag, right? The stats of 9gag. Now in 9gag, if you're still not sure what 9gag is, go and Google 9gag and see, and go and click into your site, see what it is, and you understand what 9gag is. Anyway, 9gag is a site, like I said, and you can see that the estimated visits per month, right? Per month. We're talking about per month. It's 188.5 million visits. There are 188.5 million visits per month. All right, and that's a lot of visits, right? And those kind of visits are going to, be very heavy on the hosting. Remember, hosting is like a LAN, and with that, 9gag has to buy a very strong server, a very strong host server, right? So there are costs right there. So how does 9gag actually monetize on this? Now, secondly, time on website. Now, a user would spend about 8 minutes averagely on 9gag, just scrolling through the site, looking at funny things, right? So that's good. The longer that a user stays on your site, the better, all right? And third, page views. Now, a user averagely goes into about 4 to 5 pages per visit. So every user goes in about 5 pages before they quit the site, before they close off the site, 9gag site. All right. So these are very strong stats. And if you can get the site to look something like this, if your site has a figure looking like this, you're basically a millionaire today. Okay. Right. So how do they monetize? Now, if you look at the page on 9gag here, a screenshot of 9gag here, you can see the red arrows here is referring to ad spaces that they have there. All right. So a site is like a shopping mall. Once you have users coming to your site, you can always sell the spaces. Now, in a shopping mall, shopping mall sells spaces for companies to park their products there, right? Now, in a site, the same way, they sell the spaces for companies to put advertisement there. All right, so you can see that we have an advertisement by Spotify here, and we have like the iTunes advertisement here, and sometimes you can see in between the post itself we have advertisements. So all that costs money, and that's how 9gag monetized. All right, let's get into this in a few more minutes. So there's a few more stats. Now, 1 billion page views per month. All right, that's a lot. All right, and $100, assuming $100 for every 100 impressions. That's what 9gag charge, right? So if today you are a business who wants to advertise in 9gag, you will have to pay $100 for every 100,000 impressions. Impression means user impressions, meaning that if I'm a user, I go into 9gag, I see the ad one time, that's one impression. All right. So for 100,000 eyes, you're paying about USD 100. Okay. So assuming all ad locations, remember the ad locations? These are ad locations 1, 2. All right. And normally you have like 3, 4, up to even 10 locations on one page. All right. One page, right? So normally people go on the site for 4 to 5 pages, so that's better. The more page views per user, the better, right? Get the idea? So assuming all ad locations are sold, all right, $100 for 100,000 impressions, that's 1.2 million in revenue a month, all right, and that's how 9gag actually makes money, all right? Just by publishing out images, funny images, and videos and all that. That's how they monetize. It's that simple. Do you see that? All right. All right. So let's go into the 4 ways people make money with a website. Yeah, I'm going to show you the 4 ways. It's going to be very simple and going to be very straightforward, and it's something that you all, me, you, everybody can do as well. As long as you have a passion for what you do, yeah, and you have a bit of knowledge on building sites, that's all you need. Okay. And hey, success is doing what you love and making a living. That's it. Success. I define success like that. All right. All right. So the first way, Google AdSense. All right. So does monetizing from your hobby sounds like fun? Now, how does Google AdSense work? It's simple. So basically, what happens is you write content on your site. All right, and you build visitors that comes to your site. And Google AdSense is actually a service by Google to actually inject ads, advertisements on your site. And when you have advertisements on your site, it's going to look something like this. Let me just scroll back a bit to... Okay, there you go. So you write content. In the first picture, you write content for your site. You write content of your passion. So like, for example, I write content about music because that's what I'm good at and that's what I have interest and passion about. So I write about music and things that can help people, right? So my site looks something like this, for example, and I have Google AdSense injected on my site. And when it's injected, you see ads automatically appearing on your site. And I've just shown you some example. Let's say the blue parts here are ads. All right, probably the blue parts here are ads. Okay, so when user comes into your site by reading your content, they might find an ad that is suitable for them. All right, and when they click on that ad, you get paid. It's that simple, right? When they click on an ad on your site, you get paid a 55% of the ad bid. So for example, if a company is putting up an ad here for $1 a click, all right, and someone comes to your site reading your content and he clicks on that ad, you get a 55% of that $1, which is 55 cents. You get the idea? So that's how Google AdSense works, and it's that simple. So write content, the formula is simple. Write content, use Google AdSense to inject in your site, and there you go. Once you have visitors, you definitely see money coming in. It's that simple. Trust me. Okay? But it's not to say without work. Yeah? There's going to be work. Now, a lot of people think it's going to be simple and it's so easy. Yes, it's easy. It's simple. But that's not to say without hard work and without, things to do. Right? Now, if you have any questions, go ahead and ask, okay? I'll stop and just answer questions, or if you prefer to ask at the end, no problem at all. Right, the second way of making money on websites is to sell merchandise. All right, so I always recommend something to sell something that is able to go international. All right, so you do not limit yourself to only the locals in your state or your country. You want something that you can sell worldwide. And those kind of stuff are normally things which are digital or things which you can send worldwide. Okay, and something I can recommend to you immediately today is Teespring. Now, Teespring is a site where you design shirts, right? You design shirts and you sell them without you actually having to print those shirts. So you design the shirts and you set up in the site, right? And once you sell and make some money off Teespring, they give you a cut of what you have sold. It's that simple. So go and Google Teespring. Teespring is amazing, and I think a lot of businesses should go into this, right? Now, how can you go into this? Now, I'll give you an example here. So this company here called the Awkward Yeti. I haven't gone into much study of what they do, in fact, but I observe that the owner of this site is actually a comic writer. Do we call them comic writers, or how do you call a comic writer? Well, anyway, he writes comics. He draws comics, right? So he's a comic artist, all right? And he shares his comics on social media, and he creates, like merchandises that he can sell to worldwide. So you can see that in this picture here, he actually sells plush toys, and you can see that he also sells posters and things like that. So plush toys, posters, merchandises, and there you go. The second way of making money with your site. All right, and this is done with a site. All right. So Teespring, go look at it. You can sell T-shirts, you can sell digital products, a lot of different things. Up to your imaginations. All you need is a site. Okay, and the third one, which I do myself as well, is called the affiliate, right? So affiliate is actually being affiliated to things. So what I do is, again, coming back to me, I write about music, right? So I write about music, I blog about music, and I recommend my readers to buy different products from time to time, right? So when I recommend people to buy products, for example, to buy things from Amazon, all right, I put a special link on my blog. And what's going to happen there is when someone clicks on that link and went on to buy a product, I get a cut from that being an affiliate. Okay, so you can see in this screenshot here, this is a simple screenshot of the of the earnings I have here through Amazon. A simple this quarter of the earnings here. And you can see that I've recommended people to buy things like MIDI keyboards, things like these are all music production items here. So if you're not a music producer, you might find this alien to you. But basically, these equipments here are all music equipments. So you can see that I recommend people to buy from Amazon.com, and that user bought it for 119 USD. I got a cut of $4, and that's good, right? And this is passive, so I just have to put links all over my website, write good content, get people to read my content, and then what they do is they actually go ahead and buy things that I recommend to them. So that's cool. Okay. Now you're gonna ask me, hey, if you actually recommend so many things to people, would actually people be annoyed that you're actually recommending products for them to buy, Well, in fact, they'll thank you for recommending them good products. So as a good content writer, as a good blogger or website owner, you're going to recommend the best products to your readers based on your experience, based on your sharings. And basically, don't worry about this at all, because at the end of the day, they'll thank you, in fact, for writing such good content and actually convincing them and telling them to say, hey, this is a product you need, right? You're actually solving problems, right? And that's why they actually go into your site to read about content. So products that you recommend as an affiliate actually solve their problems, and trust me, they'll thank you instead. Now there's a few places that I can recommend that you can be affiliated to. Now the first would be Amazon, which I am one of the affiliates. So what I do is I recommend my readers to buy music items, music equipments, physical products. So Amazon is where you actually sell physical products. You actually affiliate and you recommend physical products, right? So for example, if you are a fishing enthusiast and you have a lot of ideas about fishing rods and reels and hooks, well, what you can do is you can always recommend products to your readers, and when a reader buys through your recommendation, you get a cut. That's simple. And if If it's a physical product like a rod, you can always sell it through, you can always affiliate and refer back to Amazon. So that's cool. Now, number two, if you are more interested in being affiliated to digital downloads like courses, things like courses, things like softwares, well, go for ClickBank. All right. So you can always recommend your readers or your subscribers to things like softwares that they want to use. Video recording softwares, video editing softwares, writing softwares, or whatever softwares you have in the world, you can find it in ClickBank and be affiliated to them. All right, and when they buy through your link, you get a card. It's simple. Now another place where I like to be affiliated to is a company called Envato. Now Envato is a company that sells templates and stock photos, stock music, stock stuff, right? So what happens is I know a lot of my readers and a lot of my fans are creative people who are looking for, well, stock images, stock videos, things like that, and website themes and all that. So what I do is I recommend them to buy from Envato through a special link on my site. And when they click on that link, they get paid. I get paid a cut. All right. So there's three marketplaces that you can actually look into. Go and Google these titles: Amazon, ClickBank, and Envato. You'll immediately find what you're looking for. So just go and Google Amazon affiliate. You'll be able to find the forms that actually help you to be an affiliate. It's that simple, right? So Amazon for physical products, ClickBank for digital downloads like softwares and courses, and Envato for digital templates online. Yeah. Now these are not the three only marketplaces that you can enroll into. There are hundreds and literally thousands of sites you can be affiliates to, right? So find your niche, find your passion, and you can basically find a marketplace that you can recommend people to buy from. Alright, and the fourth and the last way that I prefer to actually make money with websites is membership. Now membership is one of the best business plans in the world, where you get members to subscribe to your blog or subscribe to your website to get in return expert advisors or to be part of a community. Alright, so now take for example, Facebook costs nothing for us to use, but imagine if you can build something like Facebook or something near to Facebook and charge a membership fee like $1 a month for a member to join. You basically have a recurring business model that works. Yeah. So basically, you get people to subscribe you for expert advisors, a community, or basically subscribe to you monthly for software that you have created, depending on your passion again and what your capabilities are, what you can create. All right. Let me give you some examples. Now, this is a screenshot from a bikini body site. So the lady that runs this site, the fitness coach, I would call her, her name is Kayla. Alright, so Kayla, what she does is she writes about fitness because she's interested in it. She has a passion in working out, and basically she wants to help people. Right, so that's very good. And what she do is she came up with this 12-week program. So what people do is people who are interested in getting a bikini body as well, they subscribe as members to her site from $69.97 per month or something like that, right? So they subscribe to her, and basically there you go, a membership-based business model, right? And what Kayla is doing is basically sharing her passion and her techniques and what she do as a fitness enthusiast. All right, so that's simple. Share your passion, make it a product, and charge a membership. Right? Create a membership for your knowledge. Create a membership for your expertise. So it's that simple. All right. So I show you the 4 ways of making money with sites. You can think about building up a membership. If you're good at something, if you're good at playing the guitar, you can come up with a guitar membership for people to actually join your site to get guitar tips from you monthly or weekly, something like that, right? For example, just take example like Kayla, right? So that's membership. And you can be an affiliate to a lot of things as well. So you write content and you recommend people to buy products or physical products, digital products, doesn't matter. You could recommend products to people from your site itself and be an affiliate. Alright? That's the third way. And the second way is to actually sell your own merchandises. Now some famous people, some famous public figures likes to sell merchandises. Yeah, things like plush toys, t-shirts, products, and if you're good at creating products, you can always sell different things like whatever products in the world you can think of it, you can always sell it online, and that's selling merchandise or selling physical products. It's cool, but you need a site. And another one I like to do, the first way is to actually earn from AdSense. So this one is fairly simple. You just basically have to blog and write about your passion and inject ads into your site, make it look nice, and then when you get a lot of visitors, basically people will actually click on the sites, click on the ads, and you get paid a cut from the ad bidding. Alright? So Google AdSense, number 1. Number 2, selling merchandises or physical products. Number 3, being an affiliate. And number 4, coming out with a membership plan. Alright, these are those 4 top ways that people make money online with websites. But there are countless of ways you can make websites. But these are the basics. These are the prerequisites. You can even do all of them if you want to, depending on how serious you are in actually making money with websites. Okay. Now I'm going to give you some tips for traffic and visitors to your sites just before we end the presentation. Yeah, we're running out of time. Just going to give you some quick tips. Alright, so visitors on your site means money, the same way as a shopping mall. The more visitors and customers or people that walk into a mall, the more money a mall gets to charge. Alright? So first, you need to create high quality content that people find valuable and wants to read. Now if your site is full of junk and full of content that people can find elsewhere, nobody's going to find your site useful and nobody's going to find your site nice. So you got to create high quality content, things that people would want to read and will want to share and want to tell people about it. Okay, so always create high quality content. Now if you have been in the internet marketing world for a while, you know that back in the days, let's say about 1 or 2 years ago, people used to create one-page websites and make very spammy quality content just to get ranked on Google and to get people to actually click on links. Now that does not work anymore, right? As of 2015, you have to create high-quality content that people want to read. User experience is the king here, all right? So that's 1. Now 2, go crazy. Post everywhere. Now your blog needs to be seen by people, needs to be noticed by people. And there's a lot of blogs, there's a lot of websites out in the world. So you got to go crazy, go and post it in all the social media platforms you can find. On Facebook, on Twitter, on Google+, on Pinterest, on YouTube. Post everything out there and go crazy, right? It does not matter, how much you post on that. Just post as much as you can and make it interactive. Okay? And number 3, the most crucial one of 2015, now as of the 21st of April, Google changed again, right? And it became more mobile street. So your site has to look and feel good on a mobile phone or tablet, right? You can see in the picture below, the picture on the screen here, we have a site that works on desktop, on phone, and also on tablet. So your site has to look something like this. If your site does not have a good customer experience, so what I mean is someone comes to your site, your website that does not resizes nicely like this, and have difficulties reading text, and have difficulties looking at the images and navigating around your site, you're going to be, ranked out of your site, and you won't have traffic coming to your site because your site is giving out bad user experience. So you need very good user experience. Make sure your site is mobile friendly. All right. There you go. Google's April 21st, 2015. They changed the algorithm, and your site has to be mobile friendly in order to rank in their search engine. All right. From this on, I'm going to pitch to you and show you what we have at Jar Creations, hosting by Jar Creations. Yeah. So you can start your website for as low as $13, right? And that's really cheap. Yeah, so you came up with a plan where you can actually start your site and actually do everything that I explained to you. You want to start with AdSense? Go ahead. You want to start off with affiliates? Go ahead. You want to make a membership site? Go ahead. Okay, so start your website of any kind of one you want to do. E-commerce? Go ahead for as low as $13. Right? So seriously, I'm not joking. It's really at that price. Yeah. Let me explain what's inside the hosting package that we have here. So we call it Host School by Jar Creations. Yeah. Again, if you remember, I talked about Jar Creations having a space for hosting. Yeah, we give hosting to our clients, and that's what HostSchool is about. So it's everything you need for a successful website. So today, if you do not have a website, you should actually jump into HostSchool and see what we have to offer you, right? So you get all the awesome stuff for $13 a month. All right, this is a monthly charge where you actually pay every single month. But with that, you get unlimited hosting. Yeah, remember hosting is like the LAN. So the more visitors that come to your site, you need either the heavier, the more expensive your hosting has to be. But we got that covered for you. For $13, you get the best hosting you can get out there in the market, right? And you also get your email. So for example, if your site is www.mysite.com, you get to put in your name there. For example, Brandon at www.mysite.com, or like Brandon at, whichever site that you choose, you get to put your name in front of the site domain name, right? And this is all included in the hosting. Okay, you can create as many emails as you want. For example, if you run a business today and you have hundreds of staffs, right, hundreds of colleagues that wants a professional email under your domain. So let's say your domain is mybusiness.com, right? You can have like Bruce at mybusiness.com, Ruben at mybusiness.com, Joel at mybusiness.com, Sarah at mybusiness.com, all right? And you can go up to unlimited, as many emails as you want with our plan. So that's cool, all right? So that's hosting. Now, number two, you get all the website tools you need to build a successful website. No matter it's a normal site, an e-commerce site, a site that focuses on affiliating, a site that is focused on membership, whichever sites that you want to build and you can imagine out there, you can build with our tools. It's that simple. We give you all the tools you need to build a site. All right. Number three, if that's not enough, we give you marketing lessons. And marketing lessons are things where your site gets powerful, because if a site is built up there but no marketing efforts are done on the site, you will not see results, because you need readers, you need customers and visitors to come into your site, read your content, use your information, and then make a purchase of your site, click off a link, an affiliate link off your site, join your membership, or whichever action you want them to do when they are on your site. So that's marketing lessons for you, and we are giving you the marketing lessons that we do ourselves at Jar Creations, right? What we do for clients will be shared to you in marketing lessons. And number four, if that's not enough, again, the last again, we give you all the support you need via forums. So if you have a problem, so for example, you start off with us and you hit into a problem. Probably your site, you came to a problem while building your site. You cannot figure something out. Hey, just come to the forums, ask for support. And within 24 hours, we'll be back to you to help you on your issue. Okay? So if any problems at all, when you build a site, come to the forums, which is only open for members, ask for support, and we'll be there. Okay? And all of this is just for as low as $13 a month. That's it. Okay? So start today, build your site within 2 days. Yeah? When you go through our courses, when you go through our lessons and tools, I guarantee you that you'll be able to build your site within 2 days, even if you do not have a single knowledge on building sites. Okay, so just log on to host.jarcreation.com.my and you can see our page there. Go ahead and become a member today, and I'll see you inside. Alright? So thanks. You can ask me anything you need to know now. Before I go off, I'm going to send you the link, host.jarcreation.com.my, so you can click into it and just see, look at our site, and if you make a decision today, just go and become a member and build your site now. Alright? Okay, so I'm going to stop here, and I'm going to answer the questions that I've been getting here. Alright? Thanks.